What up?
You don't.
Oh, that's the clap, is it? Right, okay. So.
Is it necessary?
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Like, it syncs itself anyway.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Master and the Noob. We're on January now. Have a nice Christmas and that. Let us know down in the comments below. Right, what we're going to talk about today.
Have you got things to show us?
I do have things to show you, but first, I need to tell you something. You know how we've done unsolicited critiques?
Mm-hmm.
We have had an unsolicited critique of the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yes. In the form of a complaint.
Okay.
What do you think it's about? It was something that you claimed on the last podcast was incorrect.
There's no Jews watching this.
And now it means that we have to bleep a word out. We have to add a word to the bleep list.
Gay.
Because naturally we're not going to not say it. Nope.
Is it a naughty word?
It's a naughty word that we haven't... Well, I don't think it's a naughty word. I think it's just a normal word. But we have had a complaint and now we're not allowed to say it anymore.
Shit.
Nope.
There's no Jews watching this.
Jew.
Really?
We've had an actual Jewish person complain to the podcast.
Okay.
So you're like, there's no Jews watching this. There is.
There's one.
There was one. Let's have a look. I don't know whether I should tell you this stuff or not. No, I will. Hey man, I watch your podcast and I've been enjoying it until this Jew stuff you keep bringing up. Can you quit it? I am Jewish and I think it's just inflammatory and rude. I don't believe you hate Jews, although I don't know. But I think it encourages others who actually do hate Jews. Anti-Semitism is on the rise. Don't be a part of it. So, I don't agree, naturally. We don't hate Jews, by the way. I've got friends who are Jewish, and I think they would think this is funny, although I haven't confirmed that with them. Maybe they do.
Well, was that a Jewish friend?
Well, he's on my Instagram, I guess. He watches the podcast, and he likes it, though. But we had a little bit of a back and forth, and I'm saying, I don't agree that making jokes equals hatred.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make jokes about people I don't like. I make jokes about my friends. So for me, making jokes is acceptance. And I'm saying, imagine how hard it must be being the one group no one's allowed to make jokes about. All that happens when you do that stuff, the same as when you'll all have a mate who, doesn't take the jokes.
Yeah.
So what happens? You make more jokes about them when they're not there, behind the back. So it's accepting to make it in here. But, I get it. And I already was aware of this thing, that we probably shouldn't be, hammering it as much as we do.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I kind of think it's funny. And I'm not trying to be inflammatory or anything like that. And I don't agree that it does make that thing. I think that kind of thing makes that thing more. Saying you're not allowed to talk about me like this. It's all right, mate. It's kind of weird behaviour, but that's fine. I'm not having to go at him either. I understand why. If you're looking at that stuff all the time, it's going to feel like that.
Mm.
But we're not doing hate here. It's about love. Right? That's it, basically.
Yeah. I'm very surprised. That did not come to my mind when you said, what would it be?
Yeah, yeah. There's more jokes that you can do, by the way, and that we're just not doing on here because we don't want to do the inflammatory things. And even those jokes, I don't think they're inflammatory anyway, but there's certain things that you wouldn't say online and certain things that,
Yeah.
I prefer to just be open all the time.
Well, there's things you're actually not allowed to say online because otherwise you get deleted off the platform, So
we're not allowed to say anymore. So from every time we say I'm going to bleep it out now. We're not going to stop saying it, obviously, but we'll bleep it out for you. How about that, bro? But in the meantime, I have written a song, though, that I want, because, I don't know if I'm autistic or anything, right? But
you definitely are.
I may have Tourette's. And if I'm not allowed to say something, I may need to say it more. But I'm not going to say that more. Obviously, I won't say that anymore. But what about juju? Am I allowed to say juju? As in voodoo and juju and magic and stuff. Because I'm not saying twice. I would never say that now that I'm not allowed. But I can say juju, right?
Yeah.
Because, I believe in the spiritual stuff and the magic and that. So naturally, I've wrote a song about juju.
Yeah, right, okay.
And this is what it sounds like.
That's Terrace, isn't it?
This is my favourite bit coming up.
Did you record all them separately? Or did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god.
I had to learn the song, and then I had to learn every note, and then I had to change them for the word juju. And I can't stop that, obviously I have to let it play through.
Oh god. How long does it go on for?
Just sit on it, sit through it, Sophie. Absorb it. Well, I can probably mute it there, can't I? Let's go back to the high bit again one last time. So I'm assuming, right, that we're fine as long as there's an even amount of the word, because then it means juju, right?
You really do like writing songs about people who say you can't say things.
Well, it's because why are we censoring things?
Yeah.
I think the censorship thing's a bit much at the moment. Literally just makes it go underground. Anything that you do like that makes it go underground. Like, say, in Japan, when they, like, banned tattooing, what happened? It just went underground and more people did it. It's like it becomes a secret and you just hide it from the people who said you can't do it.
Yeah.
So just be honest, and then you're safer if you're honest and letting people, like, do the things and say the things.
So was that your Christmas?
So that was my Christmas, yeah. I wrote that song. I also got some Christmas presents in the form of that jumper I wore last time and a bite off me rat. Got bit off me rat on the finger, which hurt a lot because she went deep on there. Still got a scar there now. And I got 20 quid off me Nana in a card. Thanks, Nana, if you're watching this.
Thanks, Nana.
And thanks, Will, for bringing that up. Like, this is the thing, right? Because I was about to stop it. It was like the joke's not that funny. It was about to die of natural causes. And then someone just comes along to like, here, put more energy into this, please. And I'm just like, okay, bro, I'll make a song about it for sure. I know they're not asking about that, but...
I'm interested to know what flavour of you are, though. I'm quite interested in that. Like, if orthodox or like... The non-orthodox, I don't know anything about them, so...
Well, he looked like I just saw his like little profile picture on there. He just looked like a normal guy, yeah. Like with blonde hair. So, like he didn't have a big hat or anything, or a little one.
Do you own a big hat? Let us know.
I think that might be. No, we can. That's not saying the word, is it? We're allowed to talk about hat sizes, right?
Yeah. Well, he might have a big hat. He might have a little hat. I'm genuinely interested to know.
I am, actually. But right, I think we should, like, maybe... No, we should do what we want every time. Just like you should, everyone. So, I'll put them, like, we had a few people. Oh, there he is, look. He looks normal guy. But he was fine. He was nice afterwards. When I explained my view on it, and he was fine. Mm-hmm. But that's not about tattoos. Let's talk about tattoos. Someone said, actually love and really look forward to listening to your guys' podcast. That's Rowan Tattoo.
Smiley
Rowan
face with a water droplet on it.
What?
Smiley face with a water droplet
Smiley
on it.
face, water droplet face. Someone said Santa Claus about the last one. Web Charlotte. Dolly Ink Love said, can't wait. I met her from Slovenia, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told her for like years beforehand. Like, I don't know if it was from some tattoo forum or something. And then eventually met her in like Italy. At a convention, I tattooed a mushroom on her finger.
Oh, nice.
Hand poked. Because, fucking pro. So, Dee Skinner, she used to work for Skin Deep magazine. JJ posted this. Conventions used to be so good. Remember when we got kicked out at hotel at Tattoo Freeze because Andy Walker kept playing piano and Martin was going to tattoo horse's head on that guy's face? So funny. I can't remember the horse head face thing.
Right.
Someone else, Jodie Bird Tattoo, said, she's told me that she was the third person who'd watched it on the telly.
Oh, right.
But JJ watches it on the telly.
I like seeing it on the telly. It looks
I
good.
know, yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Everyone's got really nice sitting rooms, by the way.
And D had commented on that picture of JJ's thing, saying these were good times. They were good times. But the good times are not over, bro. We're going to have new good times now.
I was going to say, like, you talk about all this convention stuff, and I'm like, I hope I'll get to experience it.
I think so. You'll just probably have to wear a fucking mask. Unless you're exempt, which you are, obviously, naturally. You're exempt because you're human. And everyone's exempt. I'm going to turn that up a bit, right? Make me editing a bit easier for us. So yeah, what do you want to talk about today in today's episode of Mastering the Noob?
Well, my mum has a suggestion.
Oh yeah, I wanted to hear your mum's suggestion or request. Hi mum. Sophie's mum, not my mum. You won't be watching that, my mum. Probably. Unless you are, in which case,
hello.
Hi. Just message us and say that though. You don't have to really.
My mum would like to know about cover-ups. That's what she said.
Cover-ups, right?
Yeah, that's just it. Just cover-ups.
Know about cover-ups.
Well,
what are cover-ups?
Well, she knows what they are, but like I guess the logistics behind it and stuff, and like how much laser run you need, which all depends. But
does she want to cover up like?
No.
Of that thing that you did on her wrist?
I hope not. Just tell us, mum. By the way, you can just say to us when I come in tonight.
Probably because she got it upside down, innit? Cover-ups. Cover-ups is kind of strange. It's weird, right? So you can do more than you would guess you can do, but not as much as people like think you can do.
Right.
Basically, some people are like, oh, can you know that what that woman just wanted there, like delicate kind of like flowers and roses, where it's just literally the outline with like faded like light grey or dots kind of thing. That's not going to cover the thing, of course. But some people like assume that would work as a cover up, and it's like I don't know how you think that would work as a cover up. Basically, I think a cover up's kind of like putting something on tracing paper and then putting that over the top of the tattoo. So that the thing would show through the tracing paper, of course. But you can go over black with cover-ups, but it's not easy. It's not like a perfect science kind of thing. I learned this a little bit because I used to just say like you've got to go bigger and darker than the thing that you've already got, and that's a basic idea like that I would go with. But if you want it like in one session, bigger and darker is going to work. So if you've got some black, you need to go black, obviously. Or some people would do like a purple flower. I think cover-ups want to like look like they were never there before. Right. Well, that was always my view for years and years, was always my view of like it should look like there was nothing ever there before. But since I've not been like so bothered, like there was a few tattoos where I've done where it's like it's just making the person's body look better because they don't like what it looks like now.
Yeah.
So you do like a skull over the top of some like colourful whatever old stuff, and it still looks like a skull. You can still bring some highlights in with white, and you can still make it darker with the new black. And then it just looks like it's a skull that's painted with old graffiti tattoos or something. But if you want to look like it was never there, you're probably going to need laser.
Yeah.
Well, I see some people doing cover-ups where, say if it's like a whole arm and they've got like a tattoo down here, they'll do like a really heavy black bit to cover that up, and then the rest of the arm's light. And it's like, I don't think that works either.
Okay.
Because your eye just goes immediately to that. Do you know about like a colour triangle?
Like I know colour wheels.
I don't know if it's called a colour triangle. I've kind of called it like a focus triangle or something. Imagine if you've got like a black and grey portrait in the middle of the piece, and then you've got like a red rose at the top right. Your eye automatically goes to the like the bit that's like different. Like the rose is going to like bring it up there. So if you've got like a red rose there, there, and there in like a triangle like balance around it, your eye's going to look at the middle.
Yeah.
It will like dot around them things, but be brought back to the middle where the focal point would be. But if you have like, say you've got like a lion and you do the blue eyes on it, you just look like weirdly at them things.
Yeah.
Like your eye's naturally drawn to looking at eyes and facial features though.
Right.
Like it's naturally looking for faces in everything. That's why you see them in like patterns or in the trees or anything like that. So the face would draw the eye, but if there's a bit of colour just over here, you're naturally going to like not go through. And this is like an art thing in general.
Yeah.
Like you're essentially, as an artist, you've got viewers of your art. So your customer is like a viewer, or anyone on your like Instagram or your Facebook or wherever you're showing it, or your portfolio. And as the artist, you're essentially like directing the viewer.
Yeah.
So if you have flow, you would direct the viewer's eyes through the piece to take them on this little journey, even if it's just a little tiny tattoo. Like, it's still one of the factors. You don't have to follow it always, but you're directing the viewer to look at your piece. So first, what we were talking about yesterday, you need like that silhouette resolved. Like, it's like a problem. You need to solve the problem. Like, so the silhouette, it needs to look like, especially these days, the way like people look at art now. Like, they look at it on their phone and the picture's this big on the phone. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't resolved the basic like bigger pictures, like stuff like the silhouette and the highlights and stuff like that, the basic like blur, tiny thing, you can do the face as good as you want, but no one's going to click on it if it doesn't look like it's an interesting thing on that thumbnail. So you really need to make the thumbnail look good first, because that's the very basic like silhouette of the thing. So that's what I mean with a cover up. If it's got a big black bit down there, it's going to look like unbalanced, and your eyes are just going to go straight to that thing, where like if you balance it around, your eyes are allowed to move around again. It's
like the Fibonacci spiral, isn't it? It's that kind of like, you need to do the art to lead the eye into the focus of that kind of thing. Like,
I don't think you have to every time.
Oh no,
but it's just one of the factors to consider. But yeah, like say if it was a sleeve, like, you're not following a Fibonacci thing then.
Oh yeah.
Because like a sleeve, it's like, it's a weird like cylindrical object. It's not flat, so you've got no like start or end. So really, it's nice to follow like it flows with the body, like this kind of thing. So you would start at the bottom, like where the hand is normally, and you look, and it's like to go up the arm and be like, wow, this looks cool, and it gets like cooler. You get like a cool bit here, then a cool bit there, then some nice flow, then a nice contrast and whatever going up, like to just basic art design that. But yeah, cover-ups, you can go over like black with like colour. Like, I learned that on this tattoo here. There. Like, Bez did this one. And this, what's he called? Vivi from Final Fantasy 9. He did this, like he did the black in his face like 2 or 3 times, like on separate sessions. This line down the front of Earthworm Jim's face has been done literally 8 times. But it's like a perfect line even now, like years and years later. Yeah. And then on one of the sessions, he went over this bit of black. Like, it was 2 sessions of black with green, and it stayed green. And I'm like, so you can do more than I thought. Because I always thought like that would just never be green. It would always go back to black. But I think it's the same green that would be like over here in the lighter bit, and it's just stayed darker because there's still black underneath.
Right, okay.
But you can do more. And when I was in Florida, working at Frank Linatra's studio, he's like cartoon, like animator kind of tattooist.
Okay.
But I think he wants to be like a Disney animator or something like that. But his stuff is class. Like, he's got like a thing called Car Chaos, I guess. Probably Cartoon Chaos, maybe. I don't know. He's got like some rabbits that are fighting with bazookas and shit like that.
Nice.
And he does like big scenes on people's tattoos. Unfortunately, it's not like because the pieces are so big, like they're literally like the size of thighs and stuff like that. And you see that on like a thumbnail, it's not always like showing like it. Even if you see that full size on your phone screen, you're not getting like the full picture. Like in real life, they're class. Like they're properly good. And he's cool as like Frank as well. He gets annoyed at ordering things in restaurants. He gets annoyed with wait staff and bus drivers and things like this. But, you know, he's from New York, so...
Makes sense.
I think he's from New York. Somewhere around there, at least, if he's not from New York. But when I was there, he was touching up like a tattoo that he'd done. He'd done a clock on one of his pieces. And he'd done the Roman numerals, but I think they were upside down on half of the clock or something like that. So he was going over them with white, because it's like a white clock face. He was going over them with white. And then after like, I don't know how many sessions, maybe like 6 or 7, 5 or 6 maybe, I'm not sure, I can't remember now. On this day, it was ready to tattoo the numbers back in, because it had lightened.
Okay.
Because again, it's like you've got like balls of ink that are going into this like skin. Mm-hmm. If it's got black balls in there, the more white balls you put in, the lighter it's going to go. Eventually, you're going to get that to a point where you can't really see the black anymore.
I was going to ask about the particle thing. It's like, can the particles push the other ones away, kind of thing?
I don't know if they'd push them away. Your body's always taking some away. So I wonder, this is me just making this up on the spot, I wonder if bringing like more trauma to the area by tattooing it again would like break some of it down, and then let your body take it away again.
Yeah.
And the newest ink might stay. I don't know. I don't know, but you can lighten it though. Like you could, I've done it before where I've lightened a tattoo on someone's wrist where it's like, I've tried to kind of match their skin color with it. I think that's a ridiculous thing. Like I don't think it'll have worked properly over time, but it did like lighten the black. But I had to do like 2 or 3 sessions to lighten it enough to be able to cover it with something and be able to see the black over the top. Instead of just black over the top of black, it doesn't really... You can see a difference if it's like textures in an eye of a skull or something on 2 sessions of black. But to try and do some flower over the top of some like Japanese symbol or something is not really going to work. So that's a long answer to that question, but...
I'm also interested in knowing, like, because some tattoos get raised. I've got some tattoos that are like very thick lines and they're bumpy if you run your finger over them, and it's like, what's that with cover-ups? Can you like, if it's black and bumpy and it's healed, like lighter, can you tattoo black over it, or can you still see the scars over the top of cover-ups?
If there's scars, you'll always see them. Yeah, I don't think the scars are going to go away.
Right.
But sometimes that like bumpy thing, I showed you this on this arm, didn't I?
Yeah.
Like that's got it there. Because this one was done with the Kurosumi ink in Italy, indoors. This one was done with like dynamic black, outdoors, because you don't need electricity for the Irezumi. And this one got like raised, but I know a lot of people who've got the dynamic black have it raised.
Right.
It may be one of those inks where it's supposed to be mixed down or something.
Okay.
But I've noticed a lot of people get the dynamic and have it raised though. But it could be something that was trapped in there on the day, and it could just be like there's more particles of ink. It could be that it went too deep on the day, or like there's so many different factors of what it could be.
I've got one as well. Like this bit's kind of raised.
I would say that's more because it's like deeper, or there's more particles in there.
It's like if you go too deep.
Does that get itchy when it's hot?
It doesn't actually. The one on the back of my leg does, which is similar, like thick lines, but. I was just wondering, like, can you go too deep and make it raised?
It's kind of weird. It's like, I don't know if there's an exact science like that to it. Because I've got like this one where like there's some bits that were like too deep and it didn't raise because it went like, it kind of like split the skin and it was able to heal the extra stuff back out. Right. Where this one was like, I'm thinking it's probably something caught in it or too much of the ink or something like that. And this one raises when it gets hot. But Marcus Leonard, he does like biomech stuff. Again, his work is amazing. He saw me at a convention in Sweden, I think. And he's like, goes, that looks like it gets itchy when it's warm. He goes like, it looks like it's itchy right now kind of thing. And I'm like, it is. He's like, you need to tattoo salt water into that. So I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, yeah, the earlier you do it, I guess, the better. But you tattoo salt water into it, and it kind of breaks the skin back open again, and the salt water stops it from healing so fast, and it gives the body like a chance to like actually let the stuff out.
Right.
So I did it on a little patch of this to test it out, and that bit now doesn't get raised or itchy anymore, but it is scarred though. And I don't know if that's from when it was first done or what, but... Did
you do it hand poke or with a machine?
I just did it with a machine. I just ran like a magnet over the top with this like salt water. I just mixed up like a salt water until it was like... until it had dissolved. You know, like it gets to a point where it won't dissolve anymore. I forgot what that's called. There is a word for that. But where the solution won't get any more salt in. I got it to that point. I don't know if that's too much or what. I can't remember how much he told us to. If he did, then I tattooed it over.
Was that the only bit that was itchy?
Oh, well, that was a bit that was the most itchy.
Right.
But there's other bits that do raise. Like, not all of it raises, but there is a few bits around here that do. But this never done it with that Kurosumi ink.
Weird.
It's always healed like, that would heal perfect. But he does say that it's better. So I don't know why he was using the bottled ink. I think it's from going to different conventions and having loads of artists be like, oh mate, you need to use this black if you want it. Like, and it's like, he was doing this traditional thing that's worked for thousands of years, and now they're just like, no, I use this modern thing. It's made out of plastic. Probably. So I did it on Josh the other week because he had a tattoo on the back of his hand that looked like so f***ing itchy. He was like actively like scratching it, and there was loads of bumped up bits. So I'm like, I can fix that for you if you want, like, or at least help. Do you have a tattoo machine? And he did have one in his house. So he set that up with gloves and everything. We did it still hygienic, obviously. But we set up like a tattoo machine with some salt water and a needle, obviously, and I tattooed over his hand. And he went, after that, he went to wash his hands, and like literally black ink was actually coming back into the sink.
No way.
That's
Really?
how much, that's how much stuff was in there. I haven't spoken to him about whether it's still itchy. Like, we didn't do all of it, just like the worst bits. It fucking hurt him though.
Oh,
But,
really?
yeah.
Do you think it hurts more than or?
I
Because
don't know.
I thought it'd be relieving. Because like,
For me, it was relieving because the thing that I did on there was actually itchy at the same time. So it's like, fucking hell.
because like I imagine the needle going in scratches the itch.
Yeah. In a weird kind of way, but yeah, it does.
I might have to do that as well because I get itchy. I think it's like there, but the rest of it's fine. It's like one bit, maybe, unless it's the red. Did not consider that. But like here or something gets mega itchy, or like there.
Let me know if you've got like tattoos that have been raised and what. Oh, is it itchy now?
I think
you
it's because I
mentioned
was
it.
touching it.
If you've got tattoos that have been raised, like, and if you know what ink you've used, or if you've got customers that like have that, what ink did you use on them? Because I'm interested in that. Because we used to use the Kurosumi stuff, but then like I think there was a bad batch of it years ago. Like this wasn't the Sumi like mixed from a thing. It was like an actual like set of inks. And what am I saying? I think there was a bad batch of it for a brief period years and years ago, so I just stopped using it altogether. But like if that's healing perfect, it was always a little bit lighter than other blacks as well. But if it's like healing perfect every time, maybe it is better. If it's better for the body, it might just be better in general. Rather than all these polymers and plastics and like different like extreme blacks that are like mental.
Do you reckon have they got plastic in or?
I don't know. I don't know
They
what
probably
they make it out of.
do.
Probably though, innit? What do you make black out of? Coal. What's black dye out
charcoal.
of? Squid ink.
That's Minecraft thinking.
Yeah, squid ink or coal. You can't make coal on Minecraft into ink, can you?
It must be like charcoal because that's quite like.
No, I think it is charcoal, actually. Yeah, I think it actually was like traditionally charcoal.
Because that's like, and it's kind of
I
body
imagine
safe,
it's probably
innit?
charcoal from a specific tree though,
Yeah.
rather than charcoal from like yew trees or something. I don't know if it would burn the poison off if you did
Ooh,
that.
That's a good point. It's interesting that. I was thinking maybe we could do like a with the you just said. Have you had any customers who've get itchy? We could do like a poll or like a survey.
Can you do that on here?
Oh, well, I mean, we could send a link. I know how to set up like a straw poll, which is like just. Yeah.
Like if I was me, right, which I am, and I was watching it, I'd be like, I'm not clicking that. Like. So.
I would because I love filling them
Do you
out.
really?
I'm like, ooh.
Oh, okay.
Another
So for all the
survey.
yous out there, there's a survey for you. We'll collect all your data as well, where your phone was, where it's in relation to the nearest cell tower, what you watched yesterday. I'll look at the latest 10 photos on your phone.
Oh God. But that's easy to do.
I bet it's easy to do. They're blatantly doing it right now, aren't they?
You're gonna have one response, me.
What's that, polos?
Yeah, do you want one?
No, thanks. What subject? What else are we going to talk about today?
I thought you had one to suggest, or like.
Oh no, I just wanted to talk about that thing. That was it.
Can't believe that, like.
I know. I just wanted to do my song. When it happened, I was just like so buzzing. Oh no, we were going to talk about your mushroom, weren't we?
Yeah.
I was so buzzing that I because I was just like, how dare you? How dare you try and censor me? And I'm like, I know he's not trying to censor me. He's just like being a bit concerned, I guess. And I was like, oh God, this is like the worst thing about the world at the moment. It's irritating. Just let's make jokes, man. Jokes are funny. I value jokes very highly. I'd prefer to be joking every day if I can. And if that means take the piss out of me, then yeah, sweet, let's do it. Because I want a joke. And I know that jokes are like, they're not allowed now. It seems they're not allowed because I think people, like most people, I guess, thinking negatively consistently. So having a joke come in all of a sudden, they're just like, they're not ready to take the joke, so they take it the opposite way.
You know what's even worse?
What's that?
It's like kids are getting taught that jokes aren't okay as
I
well.
know.
It's in schools.
They must know, right?
I think it's natural for people to joke about
It
this
is,
kind
man.
of stuff.
It is. Like, farts are funny. Like, they're not the funniest thing, but kids think farts are funny.
Yeah.
And, like, old people still fart. So it's like, that's a thing throughout, like, history.
Yeah. And
Like, the most spiritualist shaman people would still fart, and it's probably still funny when you do it.
I've talked about this before. like if you could, like a person slipping over and falling on their arse would be funny to anyone from any era.
Yeah.
You get someone from like 400 AD, they're going to be pissing themselves laughing as much as someone from the 1800s.
Yeah, as much as someone from now.
Yeah.
Although now they probably hold themselves back because they're like, oh, I don't want to be like recorded laughing at someone for falling over.
Yeah. They could have like a hidden illness or something. It's like they just fell over. It's funny, man.
Like they literally was trying to run away from that dog and ran into a lamppost.
They ran into a rake and it like hit them in the face.
Where's your book at? Is it not here?
You've purposely
Oh my God.
hidden it from us. 'Cause
Have
you
I?
think it's... You said that to us.
It is, but like, you know, sometimes we just get in the middle of like...
Oh, the mushroom. Did the mushroom break
Oh,
down?
the mushroom. Yeah, okay. Sweet. Right, okay. Sophie's done a mushroom, a chrome mushroom, because no one's took the chrome gnome yet. I wish they would, because I love the word chrome gnome. Oh, is it a word? It's not a word. It's 2 words, isn't it?
2 words, yeah.
What's that called?
2 words.
Right, so record. No, that's the wrong button. Is it just down on this? No.
I
Come
shouldn't
on.
really be eating, should I?
Oh my God. Can you please, just please, screen record? Okay, so this is your fucking pure mushroom. What would you do differently on it if you were to do this again?
I wouldn't have mind doing a bit of a thicker outline on it, I reckon.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know, you know, when we're at that moment and it's like you've done the outline already, and I could see you were struggling with a couple of bits, like you went over that bit down here multiple times. Check that shit out. That's going to be so cool that I've recorded that on there. And I was getting a bit worried about how many times you were going over stuff.
Yes.
Are you still struggling with the accuracy of where the needle end is?
It's more so the depth and getting the ink in.
Right.
It's like I'll go, okay, that was pretty, like I'll do the line and it's like, oh, that was pretty deep that time, wipe. Oh God, it hasn't went in, kind of thing.
Because there's a bit here. You see that bit there?
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll zoom right in.
It's got a little gap.
Right there. You see this bit here? That bit there, that's not in properly. But what I would do with that, how thick is this, by the way? Is probably come round and make it fatter anyway, and you'll be going over that with your needle to make it fatter. So I think that would be a better like thickness for it.
So will that like little, so it's where, because obviously it's individual needles, is that just one individual needle?
Kind of, yeah, kind of.
And will that not stay in that one individual needle thing? Or?
You might be able to see that, but it's likely to fall out, yeah. But like, say this is in pretty good here. That's
Big
in
gap
pretty good.
Between the white.
Big gap between. Well, it's not a big gap between the white, really, but
okay, yeah.
But that kind of thing. If you were to like, let's spin that around. Oh God, that's going to be so awkward. If you were to touch that up, oh my God, come on. Like when it's back up there, you do notice it looks crisper.
Yeah.
I would never do it on Photoshop or whatever though, like that. But it is like, you know, you can see there's little textures coming along there.
Yes.
That would be gone if it was like right up to the line. What else?
There's a kind of varying thickness on the rim lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like up here.
Like if you compare it there to this bit, or
Right, okay. Yes. And I think my main thing I would like to see though is the blends be like smoother.
yeah,
Because you've got like your black section here, then you've got your brown section, then you've got this kind of has a not bad blend amongst it. Then you've got this section which is blatantly all different. Same with the blue there.
yeah,
I prefer them to be blended in a bit more. And you do that by going over it. So we were talking about the directions when you were going like this,
yeah,
weren't we? This, like if you have your needle, for instance, let's put some black on there. So this is the skin level. Skin goes in this kind of way, right? I don't know if that's helpful. This is the surface up here. And your needle's coming in like this. It's automatically, this edge here is going to be darker because it's coming into the skin like that.
yeah.
It's going to go into the skin at that kind of angle. That's going to get so messy in it, right? Trying to draw that. But it's naturally going to give a little bit of a blend there. Hang on. So at the same time, when you're doing these circles, if you have that angle on and you come and write them circles around there, that's a bit big, but do them circles, you're going to get a crisp edge at this side and a kind of soft edge at this side. What else was I going to say?
But you have to hit the same line, don't you? On the up.
Yeah, on the top, you want to hit the same line wherever you're going with there.
Yeah.
But when you're doing like your shading to brush off, like down here, you can still do that as like big circles. But you want to think about, again, coming into the skin like that. So you're coming down as you do your circle kind of thing, and it's going to give you like a soft edge that side and a soft edge that side. That looks so bad, doesn't it? That like drawn on there.
I think people understand it though.
And that's what like how I would do that, blend a little bit more. Because if you go like if you come in and then blend out like that, you're always going to have a hard edge here. So you want that for this section, but when you blend in there, you don't want a hard edge at each side, so you need to come in and out as you do it. It's pretty cool though. Like it's like obviously, what's it like? Well, everyone's watching it on a different size screen, so it's about that big in real life.
Yeah, I like it.
What else would I say?
It's like fun trying to do the blends.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it's like a challenging fun kind of thing.
I think adding these little like circles in there was probably like a bit too challenging for this stage.
Yeah.
Because it's not an easy thing to do, is to work around them little shapes.
It's so annoying how it's like, I'm drawing it on my iPad and I'm like, ooh, thing. And it's like iPad, so much extra work.
You just add white over the top and it's just like sweet. In the skin, you've got to like leave the gap for it. What else was I going to say? There was something else. Oh, we talked about this already. Have like this, like black is essentially the horizon on the picture. So if there was mountains in the background or something like that straight away looks f***ing cool as f***,
it does, doesn't it? Oh, have mini mushrooms in it.
Oh, shit, son. Like that, yes, mushroom. Would that like look cool? Probably would, wouldn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it would. That would look f***ing sweet.
Nice.
Obviously, we're not going for like perfect chrome either, though, but like more suggestion of it.
It's like enough to trick your eye kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I also would prefer there to be more brown around this area here. I think it goes from black to like, it's like, so you've got, so okay, you're doing your black blend. Like say this is where, I'm going to do this with black. Come on. Bigger. So we're going to go black. Wants to be solid black to there. This is through a blend, right? But then you want to brush it off to there. Yeah? Then your brown wants to be basically solid here, and you want to brush it off to there.
Oh, okay.
And brush it off to there. And what happens is in this like center bit where you've got this brush off happening, it's going to be, like, because it's had like two colors going over the top, it's going to be pretty solid, because it's essentially, like, even though it's brush over the top, it's going to be like solid because it's had both go over. But you see, like, by the time you get to, like, say, a yellow colour, which is going to be, like, solid to there, and brush to here, the yellow doesn't go over the black. That little line did there, but, yeah, the yellow doesn't go over the black. So there's no black by the time you get to yellow. So that means the yellow gets to look rich still. Where when you've got the black coming into the yellow, it interferes and gives you, like, this kind of dirty-looking brown.
Yes, right.
Where it'd be nicer to have the black like brush off stop before that. You want to go through like at least one field of like solid brown, ideally.
So, do you brush upwards as well as downwards then?
Well, I guess like you're not just always going from dark to light. Like sometimes you go from medium to dark, then medium to light at both sides of the blend. And another thing that we talked about on there was the blue blend thing. Let's get a nice blue out. So you've got this blue. Let's say that was your darkest blue, and you go on to like, that's your lightest blue. Even just by doing that there, you know that your middle blue has got to be somewhere between them. And you've got to complete the blend. Come on. You've got to complete the blend. Starts there and it's got to finish by there. But if you just go like say, where we at? Dark blue. And you put your like layer, how am I doing this, man? Your layer of dark blue is coming down. I'll do it over here. layer of dark blue is coming down and you're getting carried away. Then you go, okay, well, let's go a bit lighter. Then you go a layer of lighter blue. Then you go, okay, cool, a bit lighter. Then you go a layer of lighter blue. Then it's like, sweet, go a bit lighter, layer of lighter blue. And then it's like, by here, you've run out of space before you get to like your lightest one. Let's say your lightest one was supposed to be this. By here, you've kind of run out. That wasn't a great example. Yeah, it's because I'm a fucking ninja, innit? Damn it. So sometimes what I would do is put the mid-tone in first.
Right, yeah.
To kind of get yourself like a, what's it called? Like somewhere to aim for, I guess. I'm going to stop with this now because it's going weird in it, but yes, I like that. It's not like I say, it's not a bad tattoo though, but there's a couple of things that could be nicer. I
definitely like how we changed this bit.
Yeah, because inside of here was a little bit light, wasn't it?
Because I just had it the exact same as the rest of the chrome.
I'm not sure about the white on the bottom of there either. Because if we're saying that white is the highlight on the top there, it's going to hit this side, it's going to hit here, and it's not going to get round to here, it's not going to get round to there, it's not going to get round to there, unless there was a white piece of paper on the bottom and it's coming down and then bouncing back up. It's not really going to hit them bottoms. So you would have like your white highlight, let's do it big, you would have your white highlight around the top, around there, and then depending on what colour, like say this bottom stuff was like that colour, you're going to have like white plus that. You can't blend on with the finger, can you? I can probably smudge it, right? Oh God. And then this will be kind of like a reflection of whatever the bottom thing is. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it's like light bouncing off there and bouncing back up. Wow, that was rough. Oh, yes. Stop. Cool. But I think it's going to be something that we just have to practice more. And I know like you've had a bit of time off, and skill fade happens pretty quick when you're new at a thing.
Yeah.
Like when you've like, say like if I've played guitar for like 7 years or something, or 10 years or something now, like I can go for like 2 years of not playing it and I'll be shit when I start again. Like I won't be able to put my fingers exactly where they're supposed to be. But within 2 weeks, I'm back to being better than I was before. Mm-hmm. But if I've only done the thing, like say for instance, I did programming for like, I don't know, 2 weeks during the first lockdown doing Arduino stuff. And I learned stuff. I got it to work. I could like every day I could do the thing that I wanted to do. But now I wouldn't even know how to open the program again. It's probably double click on it, right? But like it's like I'd double click and I'd be like, right, I've got to put like int. An integer, right, or something, and it's like can't remember what any of the stuff means.
It's mad as well because you knew that you knew it.
Yeah, I definitely knew it.
It's been in your brain at some point. And it's just
so we talked about how that works, didn't we? Like before, it's like the neural pathways. You get like it's like essentially like imagine a field of grass, and you walk down it once. Some of the grass is kind of trampled. That's how it works in your brain as well. You walk down it once, some of the grass is kind of trampled. You walk down it twice, it's a bit more trampled. By the time you've walked down it 100 times, that grass kind of doesn't grow as well as the other grass around it. By the time 1,000 people have walked down it 1,000 times, that grass is kind of like close to being just soil.
Yeah.
1 million times, it's just flat, compacted soil. And then like 1 billion times, and they're going to have turned it into a motorway or something. Do you know what I mean? Like it's the same in your brain. The more you go down the path, the more like written in it gets, and it makes it easier for your body to like join those things up automatically. So you're ideally with any learning, you're trying to get that neural pathway kind of built and be strong, and make it easy for the electricity to pass through it. And the more times you do it, the more that happens. Essentially, you're training your body to know how to do the thing automatically, so you don't have to think about it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a lot of things that you show us, it's like obviously automatic for you, but it's like my hands are actually having a brain fart trying to.
You know what's a really good thing, right? And maybe I'll force you to do this as part of your apprenticeship, right? Learning to ride a unicycle.
God.
Because it's impossible, right? And I think it's very valuable to learn how to do this impossible thing.
Right.
Because at first, you're thinking of like, do I have to ride forwards? Do I have to ride back with the pedals and stuff? And your brain's like really just thinking of every little bit that you're doing. And it's awkward when you're doing that. And I know when I'm trying to describe stuff with you doing the tattoos, you're thinking a lot of the time. And sometimes this thinking is like stopping you from doing automatic moves.
100%.
Where with the unicycle, it's the same thing. Like after you've practiced it a few times, eventually your body knows like to just relax into it and make the automatic things. But you have to teach your body to do it. So by the time you can ride a unicycle, it's like there's something different in your brain. I feel like like it really helped me with learning things in general doing that. And it's just practice it. It's just you have to keep practicing, obviously, because you're building them pathways up. So then the thing is automatic instead of you having to think about it.
Yeah.
But it would be funny to make you do that. You know, like when I was teaching Michelle, she was into like Britney Spears and like Katy Perry and stuff, and she loved Eminem. She listened to that all the time. And I wasn't really into that at the time. I was into metal, like Killswitch Engage and Lamb of God and things with loads of pinched harmonics in. Do you know what they are? They're the bit that goes...
Like you pinch the strings, don't you? I've seen you
you're taking most of the vibration out of the string and then bending this little cool noise on. As part of her apprenticeship, I made her learn where the pinched harmonics were in Killswitch Engage songs.
Oh, not even in our own songs.
Yeah, music, I'm like, right, we're listening to this today, and it's like, I want you to tell us where these are. And she's like, I don't want to. And I'm like, I don't care what you want to do. I'm teaching you, and this is part of it. It's wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi stuff. So I'm here needed. I never even realised. I was just being a dick, honestly. I just thought it was funny to make her learn where pinched harmonics were in songs that she didn't care about at the time, I guess. But like, it is that same thing. It's like what we're talking about. Jordan should go and do this, like, what was it? Joinery or grave carving?
Well, it
gravestone
was a
carving job. Like, how cool does that sound? I know it'd probably be a boring job after about one go.
I don't think so. Like,
you don't think?
But
in loving memory, ma'am, upside down. It's for me. Imagine I'm right. Just if I die before any of yous, right, which I won't, obviously, because I'm so healthy from eating raw meat and eggs, right. But if I do, by chance, I want my gravestone upside down with "Thanks, Anderton. It was for me."
It's so funny as well because you're lying there, your body is in the ground lying there, and if it looked up, you would be able to read it. The gravestone falls upside down,
and I want to be upside down in me coffin as well, so I can read me gravestone from down there. And I want glass soil so I can see through it. Although I'll be a spirit, I'll be able to see through it anyway, won't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no, hang on, that would be the right way around. That would still be the right way around if I was looking at it like that, wouldn't it?
I'm lost in the graveyard now.
No, yeah, I'm the normal way around, so I can look up like that, and then it is for me. Right. I know I won't die before you, but because I'm aiming for 120.
You're going to die before me?
No, I'm not. Come on, man. You've made chocolates and polos and that, man. So I'm aiming for 120 because I want to hit 100, so you've got to aim through the target. I'm not bothered if I make 120, but I'm fucking aiming for it. Just so I'll sail straight through it. And right, the Queen, I don't give a fuck about your fucking 100th birthday card or whatever, right? My details are going to be nowhere where you can find them by then. So you'll not, and you'll be dead anyway. Oh no, she probably won't.
No.
Will she?
She'll have like the fifth
kid blood in that.
The fifth African child heart transplant.
Oh, now we're going to get Queen people complaining on the next one. Whatever. You know, it's all... Oh, that's another good thing, though. What we did talk about, it may have even been on that podcast, about, when it gets to a point where someone complains, this is a good thing. It means it's reaching that wider audience.
Yes.
So I'm not fussed about someone taking...
It's like the dislike thing. It's
that's cool. So drop us a dislike on our YouTube video if you want.
Even though you can't say them now because YouTube stopped them.
That's only on news things.
Oh, it's on everything now.
It's not.
Really?
Yeah. I checked after you said that.
But anyway, you can get an extension that puts them back on.
Oh, can you?
That's what I've got, yeah. Because it's so fucking stupid.
I wish you could downvote adverts from the government on Reddit, and also those fucking stupid Huel adverts on Reddit.
I get so many Huel adverts.
It's because the guy who owns Reddit owns Huel. So they're allowed to advertise on their own thing.
Of course he does.
Fuck off, mate. Get off my fucking phone, will you? It's like, just stop using the app.
it's your own fault for being on Reddit,
I know, yeah. Well, we were just talking about before I went on that little tangent there because it was good.
If anyone's a Redditor who got offended, they're good.
Yeah, if you're on Reddit and you're offended, just stop it. The likes don't matter. Use your own name, be yourself.
There's no karma here.
Yeah, there's no karma here. Only downvotes here.
What was it? The gravestone stuff?
Gravestone stuff. Oh, yeah, because all of that stuff, joinery, that stuff is artistic. It's all in the direction of art. So he would get better at all of his art by doing these other things that are artistic.
He won't believe that, though.
Well, you can f***ing shut up, can't he? He's not going to watch
he
it
doesn't
anyway
watch
because
it
it's not
anyway.
educational content. It fucking is actually.
Jordan's my boyfriend, by the way.
Yeah.
That's like just pull this person randomly.
Yeah, so like what I was saying is, I know the gravestone carving job's gone now, but like if you were to do that kind of job, you're going to be looking at stone like all day long, like with carvings in it. And like he does like fantasy kind of drawings. Like imagine how much better his stone drawings are going to be because he's spent 8 hours every day for like 3 months looking at stone. He occasionally gets a bit of chipped stone in, and it's like, you know, the light in the factory casts a shadow on it. Even if he's not specifically looking for shadows, his brain is seeing them anyway.
Yeah.
But I started telling people to look at shadows. That's one thing that helped a few different artists I've talked to. Is like everything's light and shadow. Like all art only is light and shadow. It's light reflecting off stuff. So every art can use light and shadow. So if you look around the room, you'll see where the shadows are. Like say if you look underneath that pure stand thing, whatever it's called. What is it? Bookshelf thing. To the left of the bookshelf on the wall, I'll have to take a photo with this boringest photo ever. You see there's like 2 shadows there. One's a darker shadow and one's a lighter shadow, right?
Yeah.
That's because there are 2 lights up here. It's like the shadow tells you what the light source is, and the highlight often tells you what the light source is or where it's coming from. So if you've got like a light highlight in the top left-hand or top right-hand corner of the eye, you've got the little white shiny thing. Like on your mushroom, you've got that shiny little white thing in the top right. That's telling you that there is a light in the top right shining on it.
Yeah.
And the way you did that with the 2 little highlights on would tell you that there's 2 lights that are shining there. One light is a circle and one is like a long thing. Like if you shine like 2 strip lights above someone, you'll see 2 lines, or you'll see 2 lines on each eye as the highlights.
Oh yeah, I'm looking. You've got a line. Oh, you've got 2.
Yeah, I'll see like the 2 like lines. So that'll tell you what the shadow is. I don't think you really need to do that in cartoony things, like perfect every time. But
That's why I
is
did
a
it.
factor.
It's like the cartoon ones, the circle with the like that line. It's quite common in cartoony stuff.
But like to acknowledge what that actually is telling you can give you like so much more like ninja stuff you can do to it.
Yeah.
As if you give that 2 like light sources on there and then you then add that double shadow to stuff, people's eyes are automatically going to be like, there's something fucking cool about that and I don't know what it is.
There's like 2 different types of shadows, isn't there? There's like cast and form. That's what I've heard. Form shadows and cast shadows. Like cast shadows are like that, where it's a big object in front, and it's just. But like form shadows, like the way my arm kind of like shadows when it goes.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's a cast shadow, but that's a form shadow. Anyway, that's what I've learned.
Okay.
Before.
I like to look at it like as hard and soft as well.
Is this the
so
same.
hard is like the closer to the thing, and softer the softer it gets, the further away. But okay, yeah, you've got like that thing. This is a longer topic that I'm not like probably going to be very good at explaining. But you know about terminators and stuff on shadows, that would work more on your form shadow. You'd have like where the light's hitting most of the thing on like a round thing is easy to describe it. You get light hitting most of it. See this thing here. Like to me, I can see it perfectly on this side. Can you see like a reflective down there? Like a rim light kind of thing. Was it just because...
Put it nearer to the white wall or something? Or?
There, does that work?
I can now. Yeah, I can now.
So you'll have... I'll take a photo of this as well. You'll have like your light shadow there, which is... light highlight there coming from that. Then it comes round to here.
Yeah.
And it gets darker and darker with this form shadow you called it just then.
Yeah.
And then at some point, here, you've got your terminator.
Oh, okay.
And that's the darkest point of that like form shadow. Where it stops receiving this. Like it's normally like the exact side of the thing because the light can't bend round it. Like there's more to it than just that, but very basically it can't bend round it.
Yeah.
And then after the terminator, you start to get the reflective light. So that's now bouncing off this and hitting back onto there.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
It's really interesting. I do like the reflective stuff, and I mean, I think I started doing it because I just used to see it on other art, but it was mainly on
Well, like the rim light things.
it was rim light, and also like on skin. Like if I was to do a big thigh, I'd always leave a gap away from where the light source is coming from, because it just makes it look better, and I didn't know why.
Yeah. That's a lot of it. It's like it's like them little details or the little differences make the hugest bit difference.
Mm-hmm.
But there is like a mechanism to it or a rule to it almost. Like there's even like, because say if you get like, say that painting that's out there, can you see it, of Jasmine?
Yeah.
You see like the reflective light on her like chin. It's actually warmer than the rest of the thing.
Is that reflecting our shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's reflecting her shoulder, but it's also the light bounces off the shoulder, and it doesn't bounce off the shoulder. It goes through slightly, then bounces back out, and then it goes through slightly again. So you're actually seeing it, like it tends to be on a face or skin. It tends to be a little bit warmer because of it actually going through like essentially blood. Like
is that
to come back around.
ambient occlusion? I think that's what it's called. I
There's
could
a
be
lot of
wrong,
words,
but I
a
think
lot more.
ambient occlusion's like when they've got like sometimes on games, if it's a high end game, it's like if the light's shining through like on a character, it can go through their ears and light them up to be like
yeah. You see that, like you see the light source changes color based on like the actual ear, yeah.
Because it's like thin, so it's.
But again, I've seen that. There's some games that have that on. I don't know what it is now. Is it The Witcher's got some of that on?
It probably does.
There's some cutscenes from some of these games that I've got that on, but it's artificial, and you can tell that because when they move their head away from the light source, it's still going through the ear, and it's like it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
By then, it needs to be like a direct light from behind to go through it to see that really.
It goes so bright as well. It's like fingers can do it as well, I think.
Yeah. I've got like that on me Minecraft now, on my shader pack. I've even got this. I realised I was running on just default. I put it on the highest thing for me, like test world, and I've been running on a default like settings, and it's like, no, bro, I did not pay this much for my computer to have default settings, and now I've got it on hyper or ultra or whatever the highest setting you can put it on is. And it's like,
I hate it when your computer takes
it's
off.
not actually struggling that much really, but it's like it's warmer now. The room gets warmer now. But you can even have like what do you call it? I've got it so if you put like some red glass somewhere, it'll cast a red shadow. Like a red light source on the floor from the glass.
That's cool.
Which takes a lot more computing power. But this is the things that like happen in real life, and this is the stuff you can apply to actual art. So like in Minecraft, I look at Minecraft like art as well. It's like I like to look at the different shapes, blocks. It's very simple. Like when you just look at it and you see, if you see your kids playing it or whatever, it looks like this really simple game. But as an artist playing it, it's like all of these things are essentially tools for art. And I like it because it's kind of like, it's like a limited palette. It's like a limited palette of shapes, a limited palette of colors. So you've got what would call a block palette, if you like, different blocks in Minecraft to make your pictures with, or your world with. Like in other computer games, this is why I've bought Minecraft so much. In other computer games, you're walking around in someone else's artwork, where in Minecraft you're walking around your own. If your city looks beautiful, it's because you made it look beautiful, and that's what like I love it so much because of that. But I like that you've got this limited kind of thing. It's like I'm not necessarily attracted to like this really simple 8-bit or 16-bit style of like the pixels and stuff. But I don't mind it, I'm not bothered. But like I like that challenge of being able to still use these like limited things to make this like building look like how you would make it look like. And it's easier than ever now with like the extra things they've added in. But then I like them things like that occlusion or whatever it's called. Because then if I was to put a stained glass window in a thing, it's going to cast stained glass on the inside. And then this is another thing why I think playing games like Minecraft are important, or any games or any movies or anything's like adding to your like, what's it called? Inspiration, if you like. But that's because you're actively working at art at the same time, if you play it that way. And you've got like mechanisms like that the reflective colored like light source thing. You seeing that all day, you're automatically picking it up in your brain. So then if I was to draw a picture of like someone in a church, for instance, because I've been looking at it in that game with that reflection of the color coming through and like changing them, I may do that in the art when I come to do actual physical real life art as well.
Yeah, I don't think people realise you do pick it up. in your brain. You like
just by being around
save
it
it for later. That's why you need a big I've in one of the art books I've got, it said that you should have like a big reference folder and just take pictures of anything cool you see, just for like future reference. Because really having your own reference is better than having like Pinterest reference.
But I think, like I've said this before, I've seen people like try and like force themselves to draw to get better at drawing.
Yeah.
And it's like drawing does help you get better at drawing, but like it's like I think inspired action is more important and more efficient. As a lazy person, inspired action gets me way better than like sitting and forcing myself to draw. Because if I force myself to draw, I'm going to hate it. I'm going to not want to do it, and I'm going to do like a half-ass thing. I've got like only the effort that I put in. Whereas if I'm drawing from like excitement or love or like, do you know what I mean? When I'm like actually inspired, I get that this extra like 50% energy to like help us with it. So I've seen people where they would like want to go to the forest for a walk, but not because, I should draw, or want to play on a game like Minecraft. It's like, I shouldn't because I would rather draw because I'll get better at art. But then it's like, I'll go in Minecraft and see a flower or something and be like, the forest, and see a flower and be like, wow, I need to go and draw that now.
Yeah.
And I think that's better. But I've just realised that my phone's not plugged in, so let's stop now, just in case that hasn't been recording for the last half an hour. So, assuming that was recording, and we're not just going to have to lose this one because there's no video, bye.
Bye.
I think we should give them another gift.
I think we should.
Right, okay. Ready?
Yep. No Jews were harmed in the making of this podcast.